you ever wondered what it would be like to step into a place so dangerous, so unpredictable, that even the bravest souls are warned to stay away? Well, these locations are the real deal. From the chilling remains of a nuclear disaster to volcanoes ready to erupt at any moment, these are places you definitely don't want to visit unless, of course, you're looking for the ultimate thrill. But proceed with caution, because some of these spots are just too dangerous to even comprehend. So grab a seat and let's take a deep dive into the world's most off-limits, spine-chilling places. The Siberian Taiga is a sprawling forest in the heart of Russia, covering an area larger than many countries. It's home to a harsh, unforgiving climate and an ecosystem teeming with wildlife, but it's also one of the most remote and dangerous places on Earth. With extreme cold, scarce resources, and a lack of access to medical help, this wilderness is a true survival challenge. Getting lost here means certain death, and the Russian government advises against venturing too deep without proper preparation. From the dangerous wildlife to the freezing temperatures, this Siberian wilderness remains a place where only the most prepared adventurers dare to tread. Fes is one of Morocco's oldest cities, known for its ancient architecture and rich history, but beneath the beautiful streets, this place is in serious danger. The city's foundations are slowly sinking into the earth, and large sections are deemed too unstable for human habitation. Over time, the structures have become unsafe, leading to a growing number of abandoned areas. Government warnings have restricted access to some parts of the city, and the risk of collapse makes it a no-go zone. Walking the streets is now like stepping through history, but with the constant threat that the city could literally crumble beneath your feet. Cueva de las Manos, or Cave of the Hands, is a prehistoric site located in Argentina, famous for its ancient handprints and rock art that date back over 9,000 years. But despite its fascinating history, access to the cave is heavily restricted. The Argentine government has implemented strict conservation measures to preserve the art, which is vulnerable to the natural elements and human interference. The remote location, combined with the need for special permits to access the site, make it a place few will ever get to experience firsthand. It is a rare glimpse into human history, protected to ensure its survival for future generations. Mount Merapi is one of the most active volcanoes on the planet. Located in Indonesia, it's notorious for its violent eruptions that have wiped out entire villages. The Indonesian government has designated a large exclusion zone around the mountain, warning citizens to stay at least a few kilometers away during periods of heightened activity. Yet, despite these precautions, there are some who live in the shadows of the volcano, often unaware of how close they are to disaster. But this isn't a place for tourists. It's an area where the risk of eruption is a real and constant threat. This volcano's power is undeniable, and its frequent eruptions leave a trail of destruction in their wake. If you have a fear of snakes, Ramanagaram, a town in southern India, is the last place you'd want to visit. Known for its snake-infested hills, this town is home to several dangerous species, including the Indian cobra and the Russell's viper. The hills around this place are so heavily populated by snakes that they've been deemed a no-go zone by authorities. The area is not only treacherous due to the sheer number of venomous snakes, but the risks involved making it unsafe for the public. Snake bite deaths in the region are tragically common, and even locals advise against venturing into the hills without proper training and protection. Deception Island, located off the South Shetland Islands off the coast of Antarctica, is a place where nature's fury is on full display. An active volcano, it has erupted multiple times in recorded history, creating a landscape of steaming vents and boiling waters. The island's caldera, formed by the collapse of an ancient volcano, is a major geological feature, but it's the extreme weather conditions and hazardous terrain that make this place especially dangerous. The island is known for its violent storms, unpredictable winds, and sudden eruptions that make it nearly impossible to navigate. Once you used as a whaling station, it's now considered a forbidden place for tourists and researchers, with the risk of volcanic activity and severe environmental conditions, making any expedition here highly hazardous. Even the most experienced explorers are warned to avoid Deception Island unless absolutely necessary, as the potential for disaster is ever present. Nestled in the Tian Shan Mountains of Kyrgyzstan, Karakol Valley is a place that seems straight out of a fantasy novel, except for the fact that it's full of danger. The valley is remote, inhabited by unpredictable wildlife, and it has a rich history rooted in local folklore. But the real danger lies in the treacherous terrain, which is home to high cliffs, shifting rocks, and deep ravines. It's a place known for being difficult to navigate, and the risk of getting lost or injured is high. Adding to the mystique, the valley is said to be home to strange creatures and even supernatural occurrences, making it a forbidden place for most travelers. Lake Natron in Tanzania may look like a picturesque body of water, but looks can be deceiving. The lake's highly alkaline water has a pH level so high it can burn the skin of any creature that dares to get too close. The high levels of soda ash in the water make it toxic, and the lake's extreme conditions are hazardous to both animals and humans. It's known to preserve the bodies of birds and other creatures that have met their fate after being exposed to the caustic waters. Because of its hostile environment, the lake is essentially off limits, and only a handful of scientists venture to study its very unusual ecosystem. The Temple of Kukulkan, or El Castillo, is the iconic pyramid at Chichen Itza, one of the most famous ancient Maya sites. But despite its popularity among tourists, the temple is off limits for climbing. Due to the wear and tear caused by visitors over the years, the Mexican government closed the pyramid to the public in 2006. This decision was made to preserve the integrity of the structure and to prevent further damage. While visitors can still admire the temple from the ground, climbing it is now forbidden. The temple's sacred status, combined with the importance of its preservation, means that this ancient wonder is no longer open to casual exploration. The Arecibo Observatory, once a world-renowned radio telescope, was used for scientific research, including the search for extraterrestrial life. But after a series of structural failures in 2020, the observatory was decommissioned and closed to the public. The collapse of the platform left the site unsafe, and the US government has restricted access to the area. Once a hub for scientific discovery, this place now stands as a reminder of the fragile nature of human-made structures and the unpredictability of the forces of nature. Visitors who once marveled at the massive dish are now kept away, as the site's dangerous condition make it off limits to all. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Levi Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Bye!